Okay, now we have looked at all the basic controls of an oscillator. Now we are going to talk about these mod inputs. Now, the beauty of modular synthesis is that we can kind of remotely control these, a lot of the features by what are called control voltages. Now, audio voltages and control voltages, they're not different types of voltages, they're just different usages, if that's the right way to put it, of voltages. So what we can do, what's the best way to show this? Let's get an LFO, because an LFO is a good, we need to get onto these anyway. So an LFO is a low frequency oscillator. So it's just an oscillator. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? It's a low frequency oscillator. Now this oscillator has a low frequency mode, so we can actually use these as LFOs. But this is a dedicated LFO, and you'll see why that's useful to have a separate LFO later. But let's listen to this square wave. Okay, we've done that before, but what we can do with this LFO is let's take a sine wave into this frequency mod socket. Now you can see that's not doing anything yet, but as we turn this up, now, a couple of things to note. This control here is what's known as bipolar. So 0 volts is in the center. So we can go... So in this particular case, it sounds the same, positive or negative, and that's because this sine wave is going positive or negative. There are cases where we need one or the other, and that's what this controller, that's why this is bipolar. We don't have to worry about that at the moment. Just remember this is 0, and to turn it up we go up and then back to 0. So what is happening is this voltage is going up and down, this sine wave, and it is modulating the frequency of this oscillator. So it is essentially turning this up and down, except it can do it over a much bigger range. So obviously musically we can use that for vibrato or things like that, but we could also modulate here the pulse width. So that sine wave is essentially turning this knob, if that makes sense. Now, of course, we don't need to just use the sine wave. Let's put this back to frequency mod. So you can see this one is a random voltage, and we'll talk about these circuits in another one. But that is a basic look at, we don't have to just modulate this with an LFO, we can modulate with other things, but this is a basic look at the concept of voltage control and modulation.